this gonna work? We're gonna find out. Hi, welcome to the Knitted Cupcake podcast, episode, I should know this, I think 16? Yeah, episode 16. And as you may or may not notice, I am in a different location recording, and that's because I have moved. And I think that this is the season of podcasters moving. I moved a little over a week ago. I know Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi just moved. Candace from Pin Feathers and Pearl are in the process. She's in the process of moving. And I feel like there's other podcasters out there too that are like, moving, chaos, craziness. So yeah, so this is what will be my office / craft room. But it's the last thing to get set up right now because I'm missing a desk. I need another bookshelf. I'm recording on my computer, so things are backwards. The closet behind me, half of it is being taken up with the furnace, and then the other half is storage space that's already like jam-packed full, and everything here, which you can't see, is all totes and boxes that can't be unpacked yet because there's nowhere to put it. So, yeah. Anyway, let me introduce myself. My name is Lacey, and I'm the host of this podcast. I currently newly live in a tiny, tiny little town in Eastern Oregon called Athena, and I don't expect any of you all to know where it is. I think it's like maybe 1,800 people. There's no city route mail service, so we had to get a post office box. So yeah, it's definitely a change, but definitely a good change. And I'm really sorry. I just got a message from people, so I'm going to mute my computer and maybe that'll not happen again. Where can you find me? You obviously found me here on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram, on Instagram, as the.knitted.cupcake. We also have, this is going to be a podcast, guys, let me tell you. Homemade cold brew coffee, made it in my French press. It has coconut creamer in it. Freaking delicious. Anyway, Ravelry, you can find me on Ravelry as WOU Knitter, and you can also find our Ravelry group if you search the Knitted Cupcake podcast in the I have knitted like, oh my gosh, okay. Let's the Knitted Cupcake podcast in the groups tab, as well as I'm a moderator for another group called the Slow Ass Knitters, and ass is spelled with $signs. I will have put all of that down here for you. Now let's talk about what I'm wearing right now. I am wearing some hand knits, and they are my, I don't know, some yoga here. These awesome slippers. But yeah, my knit print leggings are from Sweet Legs, a Canadian legging company, and I'm sporting those with my hand knit soup. I can pull them all the way up to my knees almost. I don't remember the pattern, but they're a slipper pattern, and I'm sporting those with my Birkenstocks right now, so sorry, that was probably really loud. I have got things so precariously placed on boxes and totes around me that it's, and I have a swivel chair. Woo! Okay, anyway, I've got it. It's gonna be an episode, and I apologize in advance, but it's gonna be good because I'm back, and I'm really hoping to get in a little more regular podcasting. I am gonna be not podcasting the last 2 weeks of July because I will be in Oklahoma. If you live in Oklahoma City, shoot me a message on any of my social media and maybe we can meet up. So that's going to be the end of July. But I'm hoping maybe I can get back into weekly or bi-weekly podcasting. Things have just been crazy lately with the move and unpacking and trying to settle in. So yeah, let's get into this. So I don't have my diffuser running because, like I said, there's nowhere to place the diffuser right now. So nothing in my diffuser. Getting my energy from some good old coffee. Yes. Let's get into some finished objects. I have 3 for you today. Despite all of this moving and chaos, I made sure I had knitting time because that's what kept me sane during all of it. So let's go with things that you've seen. So I finished my corner to corner baby blanket, and this is done out of Premier Yarns, the Isaac Mizrahi line, I guess. And the blue is Charming, the gray is Castle. It is just a corner to corner crocheted blanket. And it's done. I have all the ends woven in. I need to send it through the washing machine. And then I can throw it in a box with some other baby items and get it in the mail and ship it off to Colorado. So this is donezo, and I'm very happy about that. Next up is a long ago whip, very much languishing. And if you have seen previous episodes, I think the last time I showed this was maybe episode 3 or 4. So a long time ago, and I've just let it sit forever. And this is my Bandana. I wrote down cowl. It's not a cowl. It's definitely like a teeny tiny little scarf. Bandana type thing. So you can see, if I blow it out, you can see all the stitch patterns and whatnot. It is a really fun pattern. The designer is, where'd it go? Emily Bootsy. Again, I don't think it's Butsy, but I could be wrong, so I apologize. It is a Tolt camp pattern, and I knit this out of Quince & Co. Chickadee in the Bolero color, and it needs to be blocked because right now it's just this thing, and I want to bring out, where did it go? There's a little point here. Yeah, this little point. I want to let that, no, that's not the point. Is that the point? I don't know what's happening right now. But it's 100% American wool. I'm really quite excited to wear it come fall. I love the color of it. Like, there's no, I guess maybe that's color accurate. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark, kind of rusty red color, burgundy red, but it's not very big, as you can see. Not my full wingspan, and that's kind of how I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna block the snot out of this, I think. So, yeah, that's my Bandana, which I'm pretty excited about. So that's another whip done and off the needles. Yay. Then the next one, you guys have never seen. I started this the night of my, like, going away knit night party, and I love this thing, and there's no way, I don't think I can hide it. Oh, I can't get it onto my lap, I don't think. I don't know why I'm trying to be sneaky. Anyway, I'll just show it to you. This is the plain shawl. And there we go. You can kind of see it now. The edge is definitely curling, but this is, again, the Klein Shawl by Jennifer DeSalle. I will have that all down below. I knit this out of the Speckle is Hedgehog sock in the Shiver color. And then the tealy blue is Yarn and You in the How Deep Is Your Ocean, I think is what it was called. And it is, I can scoot back. Wheels are fun because I have to figure out the backwardsness of recording on my computer, though. I'm really struggling hard, guys. It's big. It's definitely much, much longer than my wingspan. It was such a breeze of a knit. Really, really fun. A really awesome way to, it obviously needs to be blocked, but it's an awesome way to kind of show off those highly speckled yarns with a really fun, bright contrast. This is really hard to do backwards. It's weird. I get I get podcasters now who record on like their iPads or something and the screen is reversed. The struggle is real. But yeah, I busted this out in I think 2 weeks. I had it done maybe. But I love it. This teal is not coming out color accurate. It is way more like almost neon than royal. Like it's almost wanting to match my shirt, which is a true like royal blue, whereas this is such a vibrant turquoise, but it is sparkly. It is awesome. And yeah, I don't think I could be happier with how this turned out. It's an asymmetrical triangle, so I think I started with like 6 stitches. I don't remember, but it's so good. It's so awesome. I love it. So the Klein Shawl. And that is it as far as finished objects go. But considering the fact that I moved last week, I'm impressed with myself because I'm trying to think if I had this. I may have finished this after I moved down here the following day or so. I'm living with my boyfriend again, which is fantastic. I love it. But he works nights, which means when I'm awake during the day, I just have to be quiet so I don't wake him up, which means a lot of knitting is happening, which is really nice because I feel like I'm finally going to be able to finish projects, work through my stash a little bit. Let's ignore the fact that I ordered 3 sweaters / tops worth of yarn the other day. But still, like, I have the time to get it done now because I know once fall hits and I'm starting my new job and going back to school, it's not going to happen. So, yeah. Finished objects, done. Let's move on to whips. And these are all new whips. I didn't feel like busting out any old ones. So my summer top, my cardigan, my Rosemary and Thyme, haven't touched. But I do want to get that done before I go to Oklahoma City because where I'm going to be in an air-conditioned building most of the time. So I think that would be something that would be really fun and nice to have during the day down there. So I will start digging through my languishing whips, but right now I really just wanted to cast everything on. So the first one that I want to show you is something that I started because it's on the ground. A couple weeks ago on the Ravelry main page, they were displaying projects that were the most helpful or something like that. And one of them was a crocheted rainbow planned pooling blanket. And so it was this gorgeous rainbow like plaid. And I've seen planned pooling before, and I've always just been like, whatever, that just is way too much work. Whatever. No. I saw that and I had to do it. I had to figure it out and I had to start one. There's a woman in my knit group back in Washington who is having a baby boy in November, maybe? October? November? And so I wanted to make her a blanket because she gets knitted and crocheted items and the effort that goes into it. So she is definitely knit worthy. So I started a plan pooling blanket and I'm over halfway. Look at this. Are you kidding me? That's just the yarn. That somebody else figured out the math for me and I just had to do a little bit of guess and check. So obviously I'm using Caron Jumbo in the color Country Basket, and it is in the skein. You would never ever ever guess that this would turn into this. How cool is this guy? Seriously, I want to make myself 2 giant blankets for my living room. One for me, one for the boyfriend. I want to make them for every wedding. I want to make them for every baby. I just think that this thing is so freaking cool. I don't have any numbers for you other than the fact that I watched the Red Heart plan pooling tutorial videos. There's a few, and I kind of watched them pretty obsessively because I wanted to figure it out and I wanted to do it. I wanted to be successful at it. And there's one video I think that was called like 10 tips and tricks or 10 best hints or something like that in regards to plan pooling, and that was insanely helpful. So I watched their basic, and then I watched the like 10 helpful hints or whatever it is. And so watch those. I went through and I have 4 repeats of the color sections to make it this wide. And it's not very wide. It's not super big. It'll be perfect for a baby. Like I said, I'm a little over halfway done. I do want it to be a rectangle, so a little longer than it is wide. And I'm on my second skein of yarn. If I wanted to make it, I'll finish this and then the blanket will be done. It's pretty much it. Because the first skein, it was like that much more than half done. So it'll be perfect. And I think I want to get, I can't decide if I want either I'm going the wrong. I don't know if I want the light blue or the dark blue for a border edge, but it'll be one of those 2 colors, I think. And I'll put a border on it and it'll be, I am so excited by this. Like I said, I want to make a gazillion more because the yarn is inexpensive, and with just a little bit of planning and organizing what you're doing, I feel like the payoff is insane. And it makes a really thick, heavy blanket. It's all, I think they call it moss stitch in crochet, so it's a combination of single crochets and chains, and you get this really awesome pattern to it. So I mean, if this is something you want to do, I really would recommend the Red Heart plan pooling videos on YouTube. I think the lady who talks about it and kind of walks you through it was the most helpful. I watched a bunch of other ones and I just felt like these were the clearest, and again, those like helpful hints. I think it was 10 tips and tricks or something like that. Was easily why I was able to figure this out so much and so easily and be so successful with it. So I'm using my Knit Picks ergonomical squishy hooks. I chained and did my very first row in a size larger, so in a 5mm, and then just to adjust my gauge and make sure the colors were right, I had to go down to a 4.5, which is fine. But again, having these kind of handles, I feel like make crochet that much easier and that much nicer. So this was relatively cheap on Amazon. I think it was like $15 and it came with a cool carrying case. I talked about it in my last episode. Go check it out. If you even if you're doing like a crochet granny stripe scrap blanket, like those hooks are the best. So yeah, that is that whip. Next up, I'll go. So that was really exciting. Again, the pattern payoff is really quite a lot for really not a whole lot of effort. Once I got into the pattern, I just kind of sit there and go. It's really great TV knitting. Well, if I'm watching mindless television, it's good TV knitting because I do have to count and make sure I'm getting the right number of stitches per color. So I do have to pay attention to it, but not enough to where I'm like completely zoned in on it. So it makes for good TV knitting if I'm watching things like How I Met Your Mother, which I've seen a gazillion times. So that's really good. So that was a really exciting project. I'm going to back off a little bit and go into something a little boring. It's just a sock. But I didn't knit a single sock in June. So I had to, and because the next project that I'll show you after this one is really involved, and I was at a barbecue last night for the 4th of July, and I didn't want to bring that with me because there's no way. I either would have been completely antisocial or I would have messed it up so bad. So I cast on a sock so I can just sit there and knit and chat and be social, but still keep my hands active. So, ooh, dropped a stitch. Dropped a stitch. These are just a pair of plain old vanilla socks. This is out of the Nomadic Yarns Lupin colorway in her sparkle sock. Is that what she calls her base? I don't know. Nomadic Yarns. Spark sock. And so it is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, yeah. And I got it in a cake, and I got it in a cake just because I thought maybe I'd want to do them 2 at a time, and I could pull from the outside and the inside, but obviously I decided against that, so whatever, it's fine. I freaking love how sparkly this is. I think you can see that. Yeah. It's so sparkly. I love it. So, Nomadic Yarns in the Lupin color, and then the brown is Haverland Yarns in her packed sock, which I think might be a 75-25. I can't remember. I don't think it's an 80-20, but it is in the Reaper Float colorway. So, it's just another brown. I will use that for the cuff and the toe, and I think I'm going to do a true afterthought, a cut and heel, and I like the stripy bullseye, so I'll probably use my Lupin yarn for the heel. But it's just, I'm using my ChowGoo 9-inch circs, and US size 1, 60 stitches, 2x2 rib for 15 rounds, I think. So this is just great mindless knitting when I need something mindless, because my next project is not. Although it is becoming more mindless. So I have my little wolf progress keeper that I'm going to move up now that I've talked about this lovely sock on the podcast. Oh, let's hook this. And this is just a little progress keeper that I made myself. It was a little Hobby Lobby charm that I put on a lobster claw. But because Lupin is a werewolf, he gets a little wolf. So, yay! Matching stuff. So there, and that is living in my Molly Klein design cupcake bag, which I love and adore. Next up. Okay, so I've started this project once before, and I got like that far in it, and I decided it sat for months, and I didn't touch it, and so I knew that it wasn't ever gonna get done. So I ripped it out, and then at my little like going away party for my knit night, I was gifted a skein of yarn that matched perfectly with one of the original skeins I was using. So I knew I had to give it another shot with those two yarns instead. And so what I'm talking about is my Sizzle Pop Shawl. And if you remember from previous, I think like one previous episode did I mention this, I was using my skein of Bears Beats Battlestar Galactica from Once Upon a Corgi, which is a BFL sock base, and then a skein of Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Whiskey Barrel colorway. So I had a plaid and a single together, and it was not working for me. I can't mix my bases like that. It makes me a tad bit uncomfortable, I guess. So I ripped it out because I was gifted another single ply, and it is this color. And so this is Zen. What is it? I don't think I have the tab with me, and I grabbed it. I need to turn on the light, I think. My window is not quite doing it for me anymore. So, because I want to, it just isn't, maybe. Anyway, this is Zen Yarn Garden in their, what is this base called? Serenity Silk Single. And this color is called Beguiled. And it is stunning. It is gorgeous. I love this color. And as soon as I pulled it out of the bag, I knew that I was going to pair it with my Whiskey Barrel, which is just going to be really dark. It's a dark brown. But I knew I had to pair them together because they're both singles. Okay, this guy is a 75% merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk. Oh my gosh. Okay, so between the two single plies, now I'm knitting a Sizzle Pop, and so it's brioche. So I've got the squishiness of the singles, the squishiness of the brioche, and together I have this. Can you even? Because I can't even. Hello, gorgeous. I could not be happier with this. Again, I'm trying to do things backwards. This is stunning. I'm just going to pet it. I'm going to wear it and I'm going to pet it. So I considered pairing these yarns together for a different project because I'm entering this into the Periscoping Sisters Remember Along. And I was going to do the Wendy Sky shawl, mainly because I didn't know, but their sister Wendy, who has now passed, how long ago, I don't know, but she used to work with deaf and hard of hearing students, which I'm becoming a teacher of the deaf, and proceeds of that pattern go to their local school district and their deaf and hard of hearing programming. So I was like, heck yeah, all for that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use these yarns because they're soft and squishy. And yeah, that's going to happen. Well, then I watched Candace's podcast, Pin, Feathers, and Pearls. And she, just to show an example of how she wears her shawls, grabbed her Sizzle Pop, and I went, okay, I have to knit the Sizzle Pop. I've wanted to for so long. I've tried it once, didn't like my yarn pairings, which means I wasn't feeling the pattern either. And so I decided, you know what? I have a lot of time right now where I can just sit and be quiet and focus on this and just give it the attention it needs because it is such an involved pattern. And boy, am I glad I did, because look at that. I mean, it is going to block out so Cool. I think I messed up a little bit down here on the end. I think I have one too many rows for the for the startup, but I don't really care because the rest of this is gorgeous. So, like I said, I'm entering this into the Remember Along. And part of that is the requirements is a 2-color accessory and remember a loved one while you're knitting. And I'm assuming that they were talking about, remember a loved one who's passed, and that kind of a thing. Well, I've lost loved ones, yeah, but not so much in my adult years, so not really anybody that I've had that super close relationship with. And these yarns are special to me because they're, I purchased the Whiskey Barrel, but the Zen Yarn Garden is from, a knitter from my knit night. I don't know if you can see those my cowboy boot stitch markers, and then my little rodeo progress keeper that's hanging out there. Those were gifts from a person from my knit night. I'm remembering my knitters because I moved to a place that, as far as I know, there aren't any knit nights. And so that's who I'm remembering with this is my support group of knitters that, were my family for the last 5 years while I lived in Central Washington. So those are the people I'm remembering while I'm knitting this. And I'm like, it's a beard. I like it. I think I could pull it off. But yeah, so it's my Sizzle Pop and I freaking love it. And I think there's 11 repeats of the chart pattern, which, okay. Let's slow it down, Lacey. Okay, so this pattern. Obviously it's complicated brioche. And it's taken me up until this point, now I can kind of read it and kind of know what should be happening now. When I first cast on with my other 2 yarns, I'm generally a chart follower rather than written instructions, and this pattern thankfully has both written row by row instructions as well as charted instructions. The chart is crazy. If it weren't a paid for pattern, I would show it to you so you could see how crazy it is. And maybe now that I'm familiar with the stitches and what should be happening, I can probably look at the chart and watch. But the written instructions are just this gobs of little knitting abbreviations that I had no idea what they meant because it's all brioche related. So it didn't matter what I was looking at, the words or the chart. I was just like, what is happening? So I had to stitch by stitch, pay attention. And like I said, I wasn't really feeling the original 2 yarns together, which meant I just wasn't feeling the whole project. So, but with these 2, I was determined, absolutely determined to have it work. And so I did it. Stitch by stitch, okay this, okay that. And since I had done, I think I was maybe that far into the first one. I think I'd made it through the first pattern repeat and started the second one. So I was somewhat familiar with the stitches, the increases, the decreases. I knew how those little leafy things were working together a little bit. But it was enough to where when I went into it this time, I didn't have to go back and watch the YouTube videos. I could just look at the written instructions on how to do the stitch and go, oh, okay, I remember that. And then I was able to do it. So there is little instructions for a gauge swatch. I would highly recommend doing that because it teaches you the increases and decreases. don't necessarily need a gauge because it's just a shawl. So, I mean, unless you're really tight on yarn quantity, then maybe you would need a gauge. But if anything, I would recommend doing the little gauge just to learn the stitches. Because when it came time to then do the shawl itself, I didn't do the gauge swatch, but I kind of did because I started it before. But it went way, way more smooth. And this is all I've wanted to knit on the last, I didn't cast it on yesterday. I cast it on the day before. So this is 2 days worth of insane brioche knitting. And I feel like that's a lot. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna have a Sizzle Pop. Yay! Sizzle Pop by Knit Graffiti. Hopefully I put that down below way before, because I've now went on and on and on and on. So that's why I have my vanilla socks as well, because I think as it just keeps getting wider, I'm going to need more breaks from the pattern. Although, who was it? I'm all over the place, but it was, Tommy from Squirrel Pie Productions. That podcast. She was talking about how she uses stitch markers for her lace repeats on things, and someone told her that advanced knitters don't do that because they should be able to read their knitting. Well, screw that. If you are an advanced knitter, then you know how awesome it is using little stitch markers between each pattern repeat, because that way, if you're off, you know way sooner. You know within those little, that little 16 stitch section, oh, I'm off, rather than getting all the way around and back to that point. So I'm all about using stitch markers to mark my stitch repeats. I'm all for that. I'm all about that life. So yes, give me all of the stitch markers. And I'm really excited that I have the little boots. So the boots and the little rodeo marker, the town, kind of a neighboring city, is Pendleton, and they have a big rodeo every September, I think, called the Roundup. And so it's a big kind of cowboy area. So that's why it's little boots and a little rodeo progress keeper. So, okay. That is it for my whips. Okay. Take a breath, because I'm blasting through this episode, which is fine. It's just, we're hitting it hard. That's what we're doing. I don't even know. Too many things. Okay. So, as mentioned in the beginning of this episode, I am a moderator for the Slow Ass Knitters group. And again, Slow Ass Knitters with $ signs and the word ass to censor it. Come on, people. Anyway, if you've not heard, it is a group where there are 7 of us podcasters, and we decided that we wanted to hold seasonal or quarterly knit-alongs. And so the one that we're doing right now is the Slow Ass Knitters Summer Top knit-along, I think is what we called it. It's summer garments. And so I started my Rosemary and Thyme cardigan, which is a pattern by Alicia Plummer. I have not touched it since the last podcast. But I'm making progress, and I will be done. Oh, and I do have to check my phone because, update, it was originally supposed to be done at the end of this month, and we have decided to extend it, and I'm trying to pull up the date with my ladies. How long ago was that? So much enabling. I want to say think August 15th is what we decided. I'm going to keep scrolling and figure it out. But yeah, so you have more time. I can't find it. I think it's August 15th. I will figure it out, and I will put that down here. I can't remember if it's the 15th or the 30th, the end of August, but I will let you all know. So anyway, it's been extended! Yay! You have more time to finish your summer garments, which I'm gonna need, I think. So, I haven't made progress, but there have been a lot of people who have, and we currently have 28 finished objects in our FO thread, which is super exciting. But let me remind you that for this particular knit along, there are 5 podcasters giving out prizes for the final grand prize. So that is, with only 28 FOs right now, those are really high chances of you being able to win something. So get on it. If you starting May 1st, we're less than halfway done with some sort of summery garment, pull that out, get it done, enter it in the FO thread, win some prizes. Because we are also giving away prizes from the chatter thread, and I've decided to give one away monthly. And so it is the beginning of July, which means June has come and gone. Where did the time go? Where did June go? I don't know. But I have a winner for a pattern prize from the chatter thread. So I went on, and we have 408 entries in the chatter thread. Granted, probably about half of them are from moderators interacting. I'm really bad at that. Notice I read them all. I love, I this, I that, but I'm really bad at actually interacting with people. Sorry, but I do read them all. And so I went through and I random number generator 2 through 408, and I don't know why I picked 2, because I pick 1, because if it picks someone who is a moderator, then they can't win. So I think last time I picked Jenny from Lucky Jenny Knits, so she didn't get it, and so that had to redo it, and I got another person who's participating. And this time, Amy, you were picked first, but unfortunately you can't win. So, wah. I did it a second time, and it picked number 15. So I'm going all the way back from beginning to end. It doesn't matter where. So post number 15, who was Pink Fizz! Yay! And that is Kim from Chicago. And she actually already has an FO in our FO thread. So not only did I think you may have won a pattern from May on a different podcast, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But she knit an awesome, I want to say Zia top, XIA. It's a really cool top. I love it. So she's already got an entry in the FO thread. And now, yay, congrats Kim, you have won a pattern from me. So when you see this, go ahead and shoot me a message on Ravelry and let me know that you saw it and what pattern you'd like. And I will send that your way. It gets to be your choice this month. So, yay, congratulations. So, like I said, go ahead, get some entries in, play along in the chatter thread, because again, I think most of us, if not all 5 of us who are hosting this season's Cal, are doing monthly pattern giveaways from the chatter thread. So just join in the chatter even, and maybe you'll win something there. Speaking of giveaways, I'm almost at my 250 subscribers. Right before this, I was at 242. 8 more people. Come on, 8 more people. So as soon as I hit 250, I will be posting a giveaway thread in our podcast group. So all that I ask is that you are subscribed to my channel and part of the Knitted Cupcake podcast group. And let me remind you of what you can win. I have an awesome project bag from Janine from the Yarn and You podcast, as well as online shop. And it is a really awesome drawstring bag, perfect for a little one skein or sock size. I have a set of Be Easy by LB stitch markers and progress keepers. I think they're all progress keepers. And there are 3 of them here, and they are gorgeous. I love these stitch markers. I also have a second set that will be part of my grand prize for the summer knit along. So check it out. Join it. There are prizes coming in, people. Prizes coming in. So these are, I don't know if I will be able to get those to focus very. Ooh. I think this focuses better than my actual digital camera. So a set of 3 stone progress keepers from Lindsay. Thanks, Lindsay. And then, let me remind you, this skein is mine, but you will be getting your own skein. And I don't know what. But you will be getting a skein from Little Fish Stitches. And this is her Meet Me in Tahiti colorway. And like I said, this one is mine, all mine. But Megan just messaged me today to get my new address. And so she is sending off a skein for this giveaway and maybe the summer giveaway. I don't know. I can't remember. But for sure this giveaway, she's giving a skein. So I don't remember. I have no idea what colorway you're going to get. But the base of her yarn is really soft. Her dye jobs are amazing. So it's really fun and really exciting. So yes, so some lucky winner, after we get 8 more subscribers, come on people, will win this awesome set with possibly a different color yarn. I don't know. So yes, so go ahead if you haven't already. I did it again. Hey, if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. If you are a new viewer and you've gotten this far along and you like what you've seen, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And then once we hit 250 subscribers, head over to the Ravelry group and enter in that thread. I quit my life. Oh, here's my Zen Yarn Garden tag. I found that. Ta-da! That's the yarn that's in my Sizzle Pop. I quit. I'm done. But I have acquisitions! Okay. So, like I said, I have some acquisitions that I'm really excited about. Some of them are gifts. Some of them are purchases. I'll start with the purchases. So, a couple weeks ago, I had to take a test to continue on in the process of getting my restricted teaching license for Oregon. And this is a test that I couldn't really study for. I didn't have appropriate materials. It's a test that most people take after their 2-year teaching program. And so they've just spent 2 years learning all of this material and then do really well on the test. And so I was really stressed about it. I finally found a study guide like 3 days before I took the test. It was like a 60-page study guide. So I totally crammed the best that I could. Took this test. The whole time I've been hearing, oh, you need a 240 to pass. Well, 240 out of what? How do they score things? It was just really frustrating. And I wasn't impressed with it. So I got done and they printed off this sheet and the lady's like, well, this is what you're looking at. And it said I passed. It was like, oh, sweet. It said I passed. I don't think they can change their mind. I have no idea what I actually scored, but I passed. So I went to a yarn shop in Ellensburg and treated myself because I did it. So while I was there, I picked up this lovely Wonderland yarn gradient set. This is in their Cheshire Cat base. And there are 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and each skein is 1 ounce, And so total, there are about 640 yards. I'll let you look at that. And the colorway is Cats in the Coffee, which I thought was really fun because I love coffee. That might be able to give you a better shot of the colors. Maybe, actually, that's a little more color accurate. But it's this really cool kind of brown into burgundy, more pinky into orange. It's a really awesome autumnal fall gradient set. So I bought that because I love a good gradient. I thought the yardage was really good for the price. So yeah, it was 640 yards for $35. Seemed fair to me. So I got that. And then also, I got this cute little notions bag. It has Boston Terriers on it. So my boyfriend and I are dying to get a dog. We couldn't have one in our last apartment. We can have one here, and we want one so bad. And we have very different aesthetics as far as what we like aesthetically in a dog. I love the big, fluffy, cute, furry ones like Australian Shepherds or Corgis, or, you know, the fluffs, Huskies, that kind of thing. And he, as he says, likes the ones that look like gargoyles. So he likes boxers and pugs and bulldogs and all of just the more short hair, kind of scrunchy faces. And we both decided we can do a Boston. So I saw this and I had to get it because it's a Boston Terrier. And it is by Pog Totes. And here is her little card. And it's handmade totes, cosmetic bags, electronic cases, and more. So pogtotes.com. And I don't know how local she was to the area. I don't know. But this was really cute. And I don't remember how much it was, but probably more money than I should have spent on it. But I didn't care. It was a treat yourself moment. So that is the purchases that I have. I have mail coming this week. So next podcast, I will have more acquisitions to show you. But I did get, finally, Tabby, it's okay, I love you. So way back last fall during the Get Your Yarn, which granted, I was dying for some Hey Sister yarn. And Tabby was like, yeah, I'll be happy to grant your wish, blah, blah, blah. And I finally got it. Life is crazy. She's got a ton of kids. They get sick. She gets sick. I get it. It's really funny to me. So Tabby, if and when you see this, I promise it's all good. It's all good. But so this is the skein that I wished for, and this is Cant Take the Sky from me on their sparkle base. And it is such a gorgeous color. I have things upside down. It's so pretty. So pretty. All these great pops of that pale blue. I haven't really dug into this skein. But there's some kind of purpley pops in there. Really cool, rusty, kind of gold colors. Are there any surprise pops? I love a good surprise pop. Like I said, I didn't really dig into this skein. There's a good little chunk of that purple. So cool. It's absolutely, it's a really gorgeous yarn, and I love it. Well, she sent me this one. And then, oh, she sent me stitch markers too, and they're hiding in my yarn cabinet. But they're really cool, and they're really pretty. Anyway, so she sent me this skein. And when I got home from the post office, I didn't open it there. I waited till I got home, and I felt the package a little more, and I went, there are 2 skeins in here. She sent me 2 skeins of yarn. It's problems. Well, I have to confess. She sent me the second skein and told me, you can keep it, you can use it for a giveaway, whatever you want. I'm keeping it. I'm sorry, guys. It's a single. My very first time using singles are on my Sizzle Pop Shawl, and I love them. I love a single. So I needed to. Sorry. I'm keeping it. I feel like it'd be a very, very very rare thing. If any of you makers send something extra, this, that, very rarely will I decide to keep it. I had to keep this one. Mainly, A, it's a single, and B, it was part of their Alice in Wonderland collab with Sandy by the Lakeside and her bags. And this was a color that I really wanted, but I couldn't get because I had to be good. So this is Mad Tea Party on their single base. So you can't blame me, can you? Just look at how gorgeous that is. Sorry, not sorry. She gave me the option. I've struggled with this decision for a while, so I'm not going to do anything with it yet. So maybe at a later date I will decide that I can part with it. But right now, it has to get added to my stash because it's so stunning. And again, it's a single ply. Look at that. And I've fallen in love with singles, especially for shawls. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tabby. You're amazing and so generous. Maybe I'll use the stitch markers in a giveaway and add that so I don't keep everything. But it's just, so yeah. So these were happy mail. Some of my first mail at a new place, which made me very excited. So that's my edition of Hey Sister. And then, these ones. Okay. So during my going away party for my knitting group, there is one person involved. It's a mother-daughter duo and both spin, but the daughter is like, I want to spin like her when I grow up. She is so freaking good. And somewhere in the mess of everything, I have a drop spindle that she made with some fiber that she was letting me play with. And so she gifted me these really gorgeous Rolags. And I don't really know, considering the label on the back is all scratched out, I don't think that's what this is. But they're really gorgeous green, and you can see the iridescent stellina in there. So this, I'm just going to hang on to for a while because I'm not ready to spin something so pretty. So she gifted me this just so one day I can spin it and be very happy. But then she also spun this and gifted it to me. And this color she called the Unicorn Frappe. And those are a little more color accurate. You can see the sparkle. Again, it's similar, but it's like, I don't even know. It's kind of that bluey purple iridescent sparkle in it. How cool is that? So she said it's about a DK weight, and I have about 166 yards here. And I need to do something so special with this. I have toyed with possibly like fingerless mitts. I have some other woolly DK weight yarn that I could pair it. I've got like a really light gray and like a minty green and a bright pink and a turquoise. So I have other kind of unicorn frappy colors in that DK weight that I could pair it with and make a shawl out of. I don't really know because it's so special considering the fact that she spun this. She spun it. Like, how crazy is that? Like, I can't. It's not as fluffy as before, but that's okay. It's so, the yarn is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So, and again, it's going to be one of those, I look at it and I'm going to remember my knit group and all the great times. And this is a very, very, very special skein to me. So yeah. that kind of wraps it up. I don't really, I mean, chit chat. I can just keep talking about how I moved. Yeah. It's so hard wrapping up episodes. It really is. I don't like it. But, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to call it. Thank you for joining me. If you liked this, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to get notified when I post a new video, hit the little bell icon. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Get us closer to that 250 subscriber mark so we can have this really fun giveaway. Join the Ravelry group. It's pretty quiet, but it might pick up. I don't know. Join the Slow Ass Knitters group. Yeah, I am so glad to be back podcasting. I've missed this. I've missed you guys. Thanks for choosing to spend some time with me this week. And excuse me, until next time, happy knitting. Bye.